Hello executives and senior leaders. This guide focuses on quickly and effectively developing leadership in others by leveraging executive-level emotional intelligence, strategic influence, and organizational psychology. Executive mindset shift. Leadership isn't about you. Great executives don't just lead, they create leaders. The fastest way to scale leadership in an organization is not through micromanagement or personal brilliance. It's by systematically empowering others. The best executives build self-sustaining teams that function independently, so leadership multiplies rather than bottlenecks. The leadership multiplier effect. Executives who develop leaders expand their impact exponentially, creating a resilient, adaptable, and high-performing organization. The 10 fastest ways to develop leadership in others. 1. Assign power before they feel ready. Confidence doesn't create leadership. Leadership creates confidence. Most employees won't feel ready for leadership until they experience decision-making pressure firsthand. Give them real responsibilities, strategic input, and visibility, even if they doubt themselves. Growth happens when people are slightly uncomfortable. Executive action. Identify high-potential employees and assign leadership tasks early. Create low-risk, high-visibility decision-making opportunities. For example, instead of waiting for a manager to earn leadership, put them in charge of a strategic initiative and support them as they lead. 2. Shift from telling to asking. Executives who ask the right questions develop the best leaders. If you always provide the answer, your team never learns to think strategically. Instead of dictating solutions, ask them to come up with 3 possible approaches and challenge them to analyze the risks and benefits. Executive action. In every meeting, replace 50% of your statements with questions. When an employee asks for guidance, reply, "What do you think the best course of action is? If I weren't here, how would you handle this?" Example. Instead of solving a budget issue for a department head, ask them, "If this were your own company, how would you allocate resources?" 3. Create a feedback-driven culture. Leadership thrives in transparency, not in silence. Executives often assume employees know how they're doing, but most leaders underestimate their strengths and overestimate their weaknesses. Executive action. Give immediate, specific feedback on behaviors you want to reinforce or correct. Implement a 1-minute feedback rule. If you see leadership potential or a growth area, mention it within 1 minute, rather than waiting for reviews. Example. When you notice an emerging leader handling conflict well, say, "I saw how you de-escalated that situation in the meeting." Strong leadership move, keep doing that. 4. Teach the art of influence, not just authority. Power is given, influence is earned. Executives who lead through hierarchy alone create teams that comply, but don't commit. True leadership comes from earning influence through credibility, consistency, and connection. Executive action. Teach leaders how to persuade, not command. Train them to read the room, adjust their message, and appeal to shared goals. Example. Instead of telling managers, "Make them follow your orders," teach them to win buy-in through strategic persuasion. 5. Expose them to high-level decision-making. Leaders grow fastest when they see how real decisions are made. One of the biggest gaps between mid-level managers and executives is decision-making clarity. Many potential leaders don't understand why executives make certain choices. Executive action. Let potential leaders observe senior-level discussions. Provide post-meeting debriefs. Here's why we made that call. Example. Invite promising leaders to sit in on executive strategy sessions and analyze decisions with them afterward. Create a safe environment for mistakes. Failure is only dangerous if it's hidden. Many employees hesitate to lead because they fear making mistakes. The best executives normalize failure as a growth tool. Executive action. Reward calculated risks, even if they fail. Use postmortems, not punishments. Example. Instead of saying, "You shouldn't have done that," say, "What did we learn from this, and how will we adjust?" Perception shapes leadership as much as performance. Emerging leaders often have the skills, but not the presence. They hesitate to speak up, command attention, or project confidence. Teach them to own the room. Executive action. Teach powerful body language, concise speech, and executive-level confidence. Assign them high-stakes presentations to build visibility. Example. If an emerging leader struggles with presence, have them lead a key presentation to senior stakeholders and coach them through it. 8. Model emotional intelligence in conflict. How you handle tension defines your leadership legacy. Executives must train leaders to navigate tough conversations without ego, aggression, or avoidance. Executive action. Role-play difficult conversations with potential leaders. Teach them to stay composed under pressure and focus on solutions. Example. If a leader avoids difficult conversations, coach them through a real-time negotiation scenario. 9. Reward initiative, not just results. The best leaders take action before they're asked. Leadership is about initiative. Recognize leaders not just for hitting targets, but for proactively solving problems. Executive action. Publicly acknowledge employees who step up before being asked. Create a culture where proactivity is expected and celebrated. Example, promote individuals not just for performance metrics, but for showing leadership potential. 10. Make leadership development a non-negotiable priority. An organization that doesn't develop leaders is already failing. Many executives intend to develop leaders, but it gets deprioritized. Sustainable success requires making leadership development a structured, ongoing process. Executive action. Create a structured leadership development program. Make leadership coaching part of executive KPIs. Example, schedule monthly leadership mentoring sessions with your top emerging leaders. Lead, then step back. True success isn't how well you lead, it's how well others lead without you. The best executives don't hoard leadership. They create an army of capable, confident decision-makers who can operate without constant oversight. Your challenge, over the next 30 days, apply at least 5 of these strategies and measure their impact. Ask yourself, who in my team shows hidden leadership potential? How can I push them into real responsibility sooner? What leadership habits am I modeling daily? By accelerating leadership growth in others, you create an organization that thrives, not because of you, but because of the leaders you've built. Final thought. The greatest executive legacy is not what you personally achieve, it's the leaders you leave behind. If you enjoyed this video on leadership, like, subscribe and watch our other leadership videos to become a strategic thought leader and secure a competitive advantage in your leadership journey.